What's up, everybody? It's Monday. I'm back. I just got back from a run, so I'm a little out of breath. I got my coffee, as always. Uh, Today, I am doing another blind listen. I've never heard of this band. I just saw the thumbnail, and I thought, man, I'll check them out. All right, so the band is called Locked Shut. The song is called Toothache. We'll get into it in a minute. Before I do a couple things, as always, I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert. Please don't expect me to be going into music theory and time signatures and stuff. That's not really my strength. So go look for somebody else if that's what you're wanting. And don't be a dick. I try to be thoughtful when I do these. I try to listen and find what's good about it, whether I like it or not. And I would ask that we keep that same energy in the comments. I would expect this could be pretty heavy. It's a 2-minute long song. Thumbnail made me think this might be a little bit thrashy, so just be forewarned. If that's not what you're into, this may not be for you. And I could be totally wrong too, right? This could be totally laid back and chill, but that's not my expectation. With all the preamble out of the way, let's get into it. This is Locked Shut with Toothache. Okay, I was right. I sort of expected this would be in that sort of New York East Coast hardcore style. No idea where these guys are from, to be fair. They might not be from New York, but a lot of the bands you see playing this kind of music do come from the East Coast. A lot of them, think about bands like Trapped Under Ice, right? They're from Baltimore. Backtrack, Betrayal, Terror, they're all East Coast bands. So it's a vibe more than a location. I will be honest, in my life I have listened to a lot of different kinds of heavy music. Hardcore has always been hit or miss for me because I often feel like there's not a lot of musicianship. And it's not to say anything about the passion, right? The lyrical content, the political motivation of the people making the music. It's just that sometimes hardcore music is not very interesting to listen to. It's loud, it's abrasive, it's heavy, it's often very fast, but it doesn't always do much more than those things, right? There's the same reason I don't listen to some of the super fast metal that gets played. Because for me, as much as I like heavy with a groove. I like heavy with a feeling, right? I like heavy with some chops being displayed. And I like this. You got sung vocals in the chorus along with the shouted vocals. You do have, the standard power chords, but you've got a little bit of moving around. The drums are really good. I like that's what I like about trap music too, right? A good drop when it builds and builds and builds, and then most of the music drops out, and you just have like that heavy bass or that heavy tom or snare, and then like a synth over the top of it, right? And you've got this big empty feeling where it just feels like it's filling up the whole room with this big pounding bass. You get that a little bit here, right? When you get into the breakdown, into the chorus, you get that little syncopated, guitars drop out, you get the drum, the snare, the tom. I think it's a tom, and then the bass, right? I really like that. It makes it a little bit different. It gives it a little bit more swing, a little bit more feel. Some people would call it groove. I also like the windbreakers. It's a nice touch. It's a really cool looking video, right? It doesn't need a big budget. A lot of the time on music videos, people spend money to spend it, and I like high production videos. I really do. But sometimes it just like the idea maybe isn't that strong, but we're gonna budget, X amount of dollars to make it look kind of cool. This looks like a show I would have been to, right? No stage, just in a room, in a warehouse, in somebody's backyard. I went to a Callous Dowboys show that was in somebody's like shed out by the train tracks in Kansas City or in Wichita. That's hardcore, right? As much as I would love hardcore bands to have, mainstream success, money, basically money, that's not what people get into hardcore for, and it's rarely how it works out, right? You get into hardcore because either there's only 3 of you and nobody's that good at instruments, or because you're passionate about this kind of music. This kind of music tends to not draw big crowds. I mean, some bands do. There are successful hardcore bands that have been, pretty profitable. And understand, I don't really care about money for the sake of getting these guys rich. I care about money for the sake of continuing to do this for a living, right? If you're touring for $12 tickets and you're getting 50%, 40%, you're losing the merch cut, and you're trying to drive 8 hours between shows, you got rooms of 50 people, 60 people, and you're splitting revenue with 3 or 4 bands. It's tough. It's tough to make it work. So I like to see bands make little money. But the DIY hardcore experience is going to a terrible venue or not a venue, somebody's house, somebody's backyard, a warehouse somewhere, whatever, and cranking the volume up super, super loud to the point where, you almost can't tell when one song stops and the next one starts. And you're just up there on stage. There is no stage. The band is in the crowd with you. You're with the band. Everybody's hot and sweaty and punching each other. It's a beautiful thing. I have been fortunate enough to get to go to some really solid hardcore shows, and I really do enjoy it. Like I said, this is not like maybe the number one genre that I gravitate towards. I'm more into technical metal these days. I really like Polyphia. I really like Within the Ruins, Born of Osiris, Veil of Maya. These, mathy, more chopsy sorts of bands that are showing off more with guitar. Because it makes my brain hum, right? But sometimes you just want to hardcore two-step, and I really enjoyed this. So I guess be on the lookout for more Locked Shut on my channel. It may be happening. Go check them out. Give them a follow, a like, whatever. Show them a little support, and I think we'll call it there. Thank you guys for watching. Good coffee. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Stay safe. Be good to each other, and don't talk to cops.